With the increasing spectrum of Industrial Revolution 4.0, the introduction of machine learning model to solve unforeseen issues are timely. Malaysian real estate market are yet to embrace this machine learning technique for property analysis. My name is Muhammad Harisani bin Abdul Salam. I'm here to talk about the machine learning algorithm on price and rent prediction in real estate, a systematic literature review. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So this is my outline for my presentation today. It comprises of introduction, literature review, methodology, discussion and findings, conclusion and recommendation, acknowledgement, and also references. Valuers and investors are unable to rely on the real estate transaction that occurred over time. So this creates a problem for them to analyze the market data regarding the prices and rentals of property. As such, the industry needs to develop a model in order to predict and accurate property prices and rentals. Over the past few years, researchers had implemented various and multiple models in order to solve these issues. For example, like econometric model, machine learning model, and also the conventional method of rental growth estimation. However, prior studies have proved that the conventional approach is not reliable due to lacking in recognizing the volatility of real estate market and resulting in inaccuracy of estimation. Besides, previous studies also proved that only a limited success was achieved in finding a reliable and consistent model in order to predict the property market movement over the 5 to 10 years time frame. Hence, some computing techniques designed to handle big data are inevitably the best choice in order to predict and accurate property prices and rentals, which is the machine learning model. Due to the problem statement that have been addressed, questions arise. First, what are the types of machine learning algorithm used in predicting property prices and rentals? Second, what are the most frequently used machine learning model in real estate? In relation to the research questions, two objectives need to be achieved, which is the first one, to identify the types of machine learning algorithm used in predicting property prices and rentals, and the second one is to determine the most frequently used machine learning model in real estate. Machine learning is defined as a computer system that allows learning directly from example data and experiences. It provides hundreds of models that can be used by the user. Some software that can be used to run the machine learning such as RapidMiner and Python. The best part of machine learning is it can be implemented on both predictions and classifications problems. It requires a reasonable understanding of research mechanisms, configurations, technique limitations in order to interpret the data. Many prior studies have proven that machine learning model is very effective in prediction, estimation, and forecasting in real estate sales, prices, and also rentals. Plus, by implementing the machine learning, the reading can be more accurate and reflective of the current market value. As we can see in the figure that was provided, machine learning can be divided into two types of group models, in which the first one is supervised and the second one is unsupervised. As for the supervised machine learning, we have the classifications and regression. As for the unsupervised, we have cluster. As I mentioned earlier, machine learning provides the user hundreds of algorithms that can be used, but depends on the user's requirements and what types of data that he wants to run. So let's move to our next part, which is methodology. As for our method, we use a systematic review and meta-analysis, PRISMA. So in accordance to the systematic review, we will identify all the relevant articles in relation to the machine learning algorithms on price and rent predictions in real estate. So we will identify the articles from the online and established databases such as Web of Science and also Scopus. So in systematic review, it comprises of 4 phases, which are: the first is literature identification, next one is screening, eligibility and exclusion, and also data abstraction. First phases that involve in our methodology is literature identification, in which in identification we identify relevant articles concerning the topic machine learning on price and rent prediction in real estate. And so 148 articles were discovered on the online databases that were established, such as Scopus and Web of Science, and the duplicate items in which the same articles will be removed. After the literature identification, the next phase that involves is literature screening, for which in this phase we will exclude some of the articles that are not categorized under the journals, for which the articles are from the conference preceding, books or book series. So in this phase, 66 articles is excluded. Following the literature screening, the next phase that involves is eligibility and exclusion. In this phase, 32 items is excluded. It is because some of the articles that were excluded is not related to the topic of the research, which is the machine learning on price and rent prediction in real estate. After we have excluded all the unrelated articles concerning the machine learning in price and rent prediction, we will develop a theoretical variable metric, for which in this metrics table, we will identify what are the types of machine learning have been used in price and rent prediction and what are the most frequently used machine learning in real estate based on its frequencies. The last phase that involved in this systematic review is the data abstraction. In data abstraction, we have identified 14 machine learning algorithms that was used in predicting property price and rentals, and we also identify what are the most frequently used machine learning model in real estate. The types of machine learning that we have suggest we will be explained in greater depth in the next session, which is findings. Before we proceed to the findings, this is the theoretical variable metrics that have been developed. As we can see, there are suggested machine learning algorithms that have been used in prior studies relating to price and rent prediction in real estate. And based on the theoretical variable metrics, we have identified what are the most frequently used machine learning models, which are random forest, decision tree, linear regression, and lastly, support vector machine. Now I'm going to talk about our discussions and findings. So based on the analysis that we have done, we have discovered 14 types of machine learning algorithms previously used in prior research relating to the predicting of property prices and rentals. So each and every machine learning algorithms that was suggested here comes with different approach and different interpretation of data. These are the types of frequently used machine learning model in predicting property prices and rentals. The models are random forest, decision tree, linear regression, and also support vector machine. Basically, random forest and decision tree are the same algorithms. The only difference is the random forest is just an advanced version of a decision tree. In algorithm of random forest, it comprises many decision tree. So these two types of models actually combines many classifiers to provide solution to a complex problems. As for the linear regression, it is a predictive modeling that helps us to find the relationship between the input and the target variable. As for the support vector machine, it is some kind of model that was based on the principle of the structure risk minimization. It can be used to forecast real estate prices with high dimension and non-linear. Findings of this research will be very beneficial, especially for those investors, developers, and tax assessors or other parties who wanted to make research on real estate market. On the other hand, the adaptation of machine learning model can be done in order to gain an accurate prediction in property prices and rental. Last but not least, this research may be very useful, especially for those researchers who wanted to make research, especially on the machine learning. Before I end this presentation, I would like to thank the National Real Estate Research Coordinator, NAPREC, for funding us for this research, and also UiTM Sri Iskandar campus for an adequate support throughout the research. I think that's all from me. Thank you and have a good day.